Tell Staffing and HR, in conjunction with PatriotTV.live, bring you Play Harder Radio, the premier patriotic sports and BS talk show from America's Gulf Coast. Things that matter in the world of sports and things that don't matter to anyone. It's just Faja's opinion. Where the F-bomb is allowed, but frowned upon. This is Play Harder Radio. And now, your host, James Grant.
You are up.
All right. Welcome back to another night of Play Harder Radio on PatriotTV.live. Go to PatriotTV.live to find us. It's a great platform, by the way. Have you checked out the other shows?
You know, I've checked out a couple of them. I need to look at them in more detail.
Yeah. I've got some, Savvy. I've checked out some Savvy Truth, the episode that's up there. Some Real Matt Couch, the Real Matt Couch show.
Okay.
Truth Slingers, of course. That's with Beard Vet. And I believe his partner's Kenny. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Those guys talk some truth. Dabu 7. I think that's a play on 007. Dabu 7. I got to check that one out. Bob and Eric Save America. I noticed that Eric followed me on Twitter the other day, followed him back. Indivisible with John Steubens, The Rob Maness Show, The Savvy Truth, PatriotTV.live. You have to go there and check it out. You know what I mean?
I do.
So, every week we have the TV screen going on here in the background, right?
Right, yeah.
With, a couple of the sponsors on there, Rev Essentials, Tell Staffing and HR. But I wanted to kind of give them their real props, for helping us out. And so that people can take advantage of them because they're great companies. So bear with me for 1 minute. Let me get some business out of the way, and then we'll find out about how your week's going. So Rev Essentials at revessentials.net. No complex diets, just the essentials, counseling, coaching, consultation. Kat is a certified precision nutrition coach, a certified CrossFit Level 2 trainer, and she owns Revolt Fitness Gym. She is qualified, believe me. Her mission is to help as many clients as she can start living happier and healthier lifestyles. And let me tell you, she lives that kind of lifestyle. So it's not a do what I say, not what I do. It's do what I do. I know her personally. I've worked with her, and I can attest to the success with her clients. Go to revessentials.net to book your free consultation. In person, if you're here in Pensacola, Florida, or online, anywhere in the, world, right? revessentials.net. No complex diet, just the essentials.
Awesome.
We'll talk about Tell. We'll do another little break and then talk about Tell.
Okay.
All right. How's your week been?
It's been good. It's had a lot going on. The weather's been kind of whacked, but it's
yeah.
Nice.
We've been having rain. Just won't go
Sporadic.
away.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden it'll just pop up, and it's like, okay, what you had planned is not working into your plans all of a sudden.
You have Zoom set up?
I do. Yeah.
All right.
Nobody's popped up.
We didn't talk about it, so I was just wondering.
Oh yeah.
So Tony will be he'll be on at 7:15.
Yes.
Let me see.
I do not see that he has shown up yet.
I just text him just in case.
Okay.
I've got some good news about him too.
Awesome.
That he texted me earlier that I'm pretty excited about for him. About his podcast called The Sheriff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I listened to some of that. I really liked it.
It's awesome. You guys got to go. You can go to. It's on iTunes. Go to The Sheriff. Find The Sheriff.
I'm looking forward to him telling us more about it tonight.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And just, what kind of interest he's gotten from it. Because, those kind of things, I mean, you can get movie deals and all kinds of stuff out of that. And, if something like that came of that, because it's a great story that would work itself out into a, like a little mini series or something. He's done all the research, so I'm sure he's thought of that.
Yeah, he's got a new one coming out too, which I believe he's going to talk about.
Oh,
so
awesome!
Yeah, but do you got the T-shirts up there?
I do not, but I can put them up here real quick. I need to get what I was planning on having away, but I can throw some T-shirts up. I'm going to just put them up on the screen with you.
I'm texting him the
floating in midair.
Yeah, so you got them up there?
I do. They're just kind of floating next to you.
They are. They'll be available soon on the web on patriottv.live at the bottom of our page, and we'll also have tumblers and hats available. So they're going to be that flag inspired T-shirt.
The sleeve. I like the sleeve. The flag on the sleeve. That's nice.
Yeah, had to have the. Hang on, he's texting me.
All right.
Excellent. So the T-shirts, yeah, man, I can't believe the T-shirts. So we'll have them available. Beardo said they were going to be available. He was hoping by the weekend, so it's taken a little bit longer since I didn't see him on there, I guess. But I'm excited to get a few. I'm excited to get some of those for myself.
Oh yeah, that'll look.
We'll have to figure out some kind of a promo to push them out there when we get started.
Well, that and some kind of like a call-in thing, for people that call in or people that text or, we'll have some kind of contest.
We'll work something out. You know what? Did you notice my shirt tonight?
I did not. Oh, Bearded Vet. Oh, I saw you.
No ED.
Oh, okay. Beard Vet. Okay.
Beard Vet.
You had sent out you sent out a little blurb.
Yeah, you saw that?
Got the coffee. Yeah.
Super cool. Great T-shirt. I like the white one too, Beardo. The white one, thank you, is cool too. I've worn them both already. Washed and worn, both of them. Second time for this one. But I ordered one bag of coffee and this T-shirt. It was a little combo for $29, 29 and change. And so I get this box this week, and I don't know what this big box is. I didn't order anything that big, right? And I open up the box, and it says Beard Vet Coffee, 2 T-shirts, some Caribbean jerk rub. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
It depends on where you're at, I guess.
Does it depend on where you're from?
I guess so.
Caribbean. Jerk rub.
I don't know.
It's Range Rum coffee flavored, which is one of the coffees. And I, by the way, I did have, and I got the full beans. I love it. I got the full bean, whole bean.
Oh, really?
Whole beans. And I got a little coffee grinder.
I love the smell of that one.
That my son-in-law gave me. Yeah, it's kind of a nice little process.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we used to do it all the time, but it's one of those things where sometimes you just don't have time to go through all of that.
That's one of the best smells in the world, fresh coffee.
I love it.
Fresh coffee, yeah. But I had the Zero Dark 30.
Oh, really?
I've been drinking the Zero Dark 30 in the mornings, and that is some good, strong. It's strong and smooth. Does that make sense? Strong and smooth.
Does it have any kind of flavor to it, or just coffee?
It's just coffee.
Really? Cool.
I've got a Nilla Vanilla. I think it's Nilla Vanilla
Uh-huh.
one that he sent. So I don't usually do flavored, but I'm going to check that one out. I take that back. I have done some flavored before.
Have you all have got a Keurig in here. You should get one of those little Keurig
Get a
cup
damn
that you put it
Keurig. I
in.
got a sweet espresso machine.
Okay.
Single serving espresso machine.
Okay.
So that it's just, that pressure, you grind it real fine for those machines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like doing that with the French press things. Yeah.
It's awesome. I saw online today the old toilet paper controversy?
I don't know what you're talking
Over
about.
the top to the front
Oh, yeah.
or down the back?
My ex and I had that conversation. She was in the back, which is crazy.
Right.
I mean, and I think once she. And what are you? Which are you?
Oh, I'm that would be A. Down the back is A. Over the front is B. By this meme, right?
Okay.
I'm a B guy. I'm over the front.
Well, see, I would think that it would be opposite. I would think because most people, I would think A would be the front and B would be the back.
That's irrelevant.
Okay.
Well, that's because the second choice is the right one. So you get to the right choice. You don't have to forget. You don't forget about the correct answer, with it being the first choice.
I don't know.
Yeah, me either. Anyway, so I put there's no argument. There's nothing to talk about. It's B.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy people do the other.
One of my friends replied. I'll tell you though. I do have a. So one of my friends replied. Brian Harbaugh,
Okay.
out in Colorado, replied, and he said, Scott Paper actually developed toilet paper.
Okay.
And they actually had drawings, I guess, back in the day.
Okay.
With it coming over the front, like we say is correct.
Well, I mean, if you go to any place,
Hotel.
any hotel, it's in the front and it has they put the fold in it. If they really do the hotel.
Well, they used to also have, monogrammed toilet paper.
Oh, really?
Or whatever, and it has to fold that,
Well, you've seen.
or you won't be able to read it.
You've seen where like Charmin or somebody has like the ripple on it now, right?
No.
Yeah, where they're doing like a ripple across it.
What's that for?
It just so you'll have a reason to hoard theirs instead of someone else's, I guess.
I never thought we'd be talking this much about toilet paper.
I saw pictures. Somebody had. Whenever you were saying toilet paper controversy, that's what I thought you were going to bring up was the little ripple that they have done.
Somebody eliminated the roll in the middle, in the center.
How?
They built it into the toilet paper, and it just goes all the way down to the end, and you don't have any of that throwaway.
How does it attach to the thing?
It got a hole through it still.
Oh.
They just.
Oh, okay. It's just harder or
made
something.
It work. I haven't seen it. I haven't bought it.
Interesting.
But good. It's important. Good toilet paper is important. Don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
I agree. I totally agree.
Right.
I could get into the kind. I've stayed with people that have like. It's kind of like, okay, this is like some cheap ass toilet paper.
Right. Like, why does that single ply stuff even exist?
Well, it's one of those where it's just like, okay, I need to bring my own toilet paper when I stay here.
I did see in that post though a good reason for it going down the back.
Okay.
And
what was that?
It was from a mom.
Okay.
In reference to the toddlers who like to slap at the toilet paper.
Okay.
Because no matter how much they slap at it,
it's not gonna.
It won't go anywhere.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's the only time that's a legitimate.
And granted, I have like retch for toilet paper and pulled it, and it like come more than you wanted.
Right.
So. And then you're just like, and you're rolling it back up.
Did you say retched?
Retched. I said retched. That's like a vomit thing too, I guess. If you.
are you pronouncing wretched?
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
You work with kids, right? You teach kids?
Well, I'm gonna be, yeah, sure.
Is that Louisville?
You've never heard that said before? That's never even come
Wretched
out?
for reached?
Well,
No.
retched out to something.
Wretched out? No. Wretched is always.
Tony's asking to be admitted.
Let him in.
Well, are we going to do the tell staff? Or
No, we'll get to it. Let him in.
Okay, Tony, I'm letting you in. Tony has been admitted.
Get him up on there.
Well, we need to do this. We need to talk about tell staffing before.
No, we're not. I just told you we're not. I'll do it when I feel like it.
Okay, well then
I don't know why you try to force me into stuff.
I know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even think that that's doable.
Tony, what's going on, my man?
He's muted. Not by me, by him.
You're muted, my man.
And he's not on there. His face isn't there yet. He knows. He's being patient, aren't you, Tony?
What's up, my man?
Hey.
What are you doing?
Well, Jim,
To me.
I'm just celebrating. It's an amazing night. I'm telling you, we're just happy. I'm with Joe and Summer. We're having it's amazing.
Good.
With the Grand Island, your favorite restaurant.
Cool. Is that where you're at now?
Yeah. Hear me okay?
We hear you great, Tony. I just don't have you up visually yet. But you sound great.
So are you celebrating?
Yeah, sound good too.
Are you celebrating what you text to me earlier?
Oh yeah, for sure. We all are.
Awesome. You want to tell everybody what that is? I already talked about the podcast, The Sheriff, and said I had some good news about it. So you can tell them what that good news is.
My producer and I, Nick Tomachek, won the Florida Society of News Editors contest with today. We won the multimedia division for our podcast and our series of stories. So big accomplishment for me and Nick and just, obviously you and Wayne and everybody there has been so great about promoting the podcast last year. So it's a big bonus for us, and just we're having fun. We feel so thankful. So
I am.
Great deal.
Yeah, that is
nothing like solving an old murder from the 1940s. So
right. You're the cold case king of Pensacola.
Do you have anybody promoting it, Tony, to do any kind of a movie or anything, miniseries or anything with it?
I don't, this contest, I don't, honestly, like legally, I don't, it's the Gannett Corporation, USA Today owns the rights. Obviously, if they were smart, they would pitch it to Netflix tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
But we're kind of, both Nick and I are just kind of overwhelmed by what happened today. So
that I'm not surprised.
Yeah, obviously, it should be it should be a TV show. Gosh, come on.
One of those 7-8 parters. Our episodes.
Well, and just the music and the retro aspect of it. There's a lot of great music during that time period too.
I mean, yeah, everybody likes kind of like. I guess if we're talking about like Road to Perdition kind of style, it seems like it's from that era. So
yeah,
it's great. You got a murder in the 40s, and it's 2021, and they're talking about it. So it's great. I'm happy for the Daily News and for Nick and for myself, and also for obviously Ray Wilson's son, Stuart Wilson, for getting some recognition for what happened with his dad and his grandpa. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's.
Anyways, I thought it was a sports show.
It is, but it's about you tonight, evidently. Well, it was anyway.
No.
You bet. So you have been paying attention to Shohei Ohtani a little bit.
I would say probably a lot.
Right?
My father, Francisco, the doctor, is in Kansas watching every game. So I mean, we were saying, like you and I saying, like, 10 years ago, this is the biggest story in all of sports is Otani, but not now.
He, for anybody that doesn't know, he came over in what, 18 from Japan. He's 20.
Yeah, because remember he tore his he had really bad surgery right away. Sorry if there's background. I'm on the deck at the Grand Marlin, but yeah, he had really bad surgery right away, and then sat out a year, and then came back and was like, I think the thought was that they would not play him at both positions, but whoa.
Was he originally going to be a 2-position guy or a dual role guy?
Yes. He was always a dual role guy because when he got hurt, it was the criticism for them was when he got hurt so bad that first year he had, I think it was like a month where he was just tearing it up, kind of like he is now. When he got hurt, and the criticism of the Angels was, you're having him pitch and field and hit and all that was too much. But he rehabbed, figured it out, and came back and is obviously better now.
It's amazing. He's in the home run. So this was All-Star Week, and he was little flash of the friends there. He was in the home run derby. He was the starting pitcher and the leadoff hitter.
Never happened before.
Amazing. Was he the MVP?
No, that was
Guerrero.
Vlad.
Yeah,
that was Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Vlad Jr.
That?
Awesome. The youngest MVP of in All-Star history.
The best about Vlad being the MVP was they had all the great pictures of him with his dad at the All-Star game when his dad won the All-Star game MVP, and he was such a little, chubby little guy. So it was just a great kind of turnaround. And when he won it, he thanked his father obviously right away. So remember Vlad? Vlad was crazy because he didn't wear gloves.
He was a beast. Yeah.
He was a switch hitter that didn't wear gloves. It was just to have his kid be so good now is makes me happy too.
Yeah, it's
baseball's
awesome.
Changing, Fudge.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt.
Acuna, Otani, Vlad.
It's Major League Baseball is truly international.
The problem is, though, I mean, and this is I think is the criticism people lose outside of, people want to criticize them about he can't speak English or whatever, yada yada. My criticism of it is win a World Series.
Yeah.
You want to say all this about Stephen A. Smith say Otani can't speak English, it's bad. I disagree, that's not bad for the game. What I think is bad for the game is Otani. If Otani wins a World Series, it doesn't matter if it's good for the game or not. That's what happens. You know what I mean? That's to me. That's why sports is so great too. It's like that's the ultimate level. Otani wins a World Series this year, then Stephen A. Smith just shut up. You say what you want to say now. I think stuff about they can't speak English is dumb. But to me, it's like win a World Series. Win a World Series.
Have you heard even one person make an issue of that? Of him not speaking English?
No, not at all. And it's kind of an antiquated argument, actually. That's why I think there was so much blowback, because it's something someone would have said like 30 years ago when foreign players were first starting to come in. And it didn't really come up until the Asian players started to come in with the Japanese interpreters, because I think it was the Spanish-speaking players. It wasn't an issue, but it's just a dumb argument. And, the way to shut people like that up is just to keep winning, keep playing, and keep going. And, it's that old argument. I've won so much, you can't really say anything else.
He hit 100 miles an hour to the third hitter. I can't remember who the third guy was. It was Tatis and Tatis and then Muncy were first and second. I don't remember who was number 3, but he hit 100.
The All-Star game's been around for quite a while, and no one's ever been the starting pitcher and the leadoff hitter. So probably tells you something.
This is Babe.
There was a guy a long time ago named Babe Ruth that was pretty good at hitting and pitching. And
Ruthian.
They didn't have the All-Star game when he was there, but they had. He probably, to give Babe Ruth credit, he probably would have done that. Sorry, he would have done that when he played. But
he was a 20-game winner in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he would have been the other guy. That's the only other guy I can think of. If the only other person we're comparing you to is Babe Ruth, then you're probably doing pretty good.
You probably it's just truly mind-boggling. It's the best story in.
What is up with your studio there? You look so comfortable.
I do. You look uncomfortable. Are you comfortable?
Are you on a balcony?
I feel great.
Tony,
Everybody's waiting for me inside. I've got the big. I cut out of the party for the awards and all that. So I'm talking to you. So that's how important you are to me.
I appreciate it. You watching some? Did you pay any attention to the British Open today?
Yeah, a little bit, but I didn't even realize the first day was today. I mean, maybe the British Open is doing a bad job of promoting. I didn't realize that it started today till this afternoon when our friend Bradley Charles told me they were playing. So,
right, he does know. Is he there tonight?
Who's in first place? Louis.
Yeah, Louis, and Spieth is in second. Spieth and Louis both had. Louis's been hanging around in the top 2-3 at majors for real consistently, and we'll see if he can go wire to wire.
Is Louis the favorite?
No, Rahm was a favorite. Was a big favorite. He was +1 today, so he's 7.
Why would you ever bet the favorite in a golf major? That's ridiculous.
Unless it's Tiger. Less in the day.
Yeah, I got a time machine, so.
Right. Yeah, it's I picked him for I'm in a pool that was $100 each, and there's 22 people in it, and I picked Rahm as one of my 3 players, and I'm not off to a good start.
Well, I can't believe you didn't pick Louis. I wouldn't mind if Louis. I don't mind Louis. Louis fine.
He's a good guy. The brown UPS logo that he wears is just, I can't take it. I can't root for the brown UPS logo. It doesn't go with anything you wear.
Okay, fashionista.
Right?
Okay, Giselle.
I can't help it. You
got on gym shorts.
I don't. That's a good guess, though. We did play some tennis this morning. Had a great match this morning.
We lost. I lost, but
is Dr. Petroni recovered?
Yeah, he's recovered on top of about 20 Palomas in there. Wondering probably where I am because he's the one that put this thing together because we won that award. So that happened, and then it's just been a great day. I got to see you. I got to see him. I got to see our friend Mark Stringfellow, who we all love, who is the best guy of all time.
He is a great guy.
We just all had such a good time together. So
you have
feels like a great day. So
you're celebrating the sheriff right now. You've got another project you're working on.
Yeah, we are. We did the sheriff, and then right after that, we obviously followed up with the another murder case in Pensacola that we helped the police solve, and that podcast is coming out in August. It's called Murder at Devil's Point. So, I mean, we're excited about that. Obviously, there's some stuff about that we can't quite talk about yet, but we're excited about that. It's coming out. And, I mean, it's a great day. I can't say, it's funny that we all played tennis together this morning and didn't know what was going to happen in the next few hours. So it seems kind of fitting, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I'm not surprised in the least because you guys, we got to put we've got the graphic somewhere. We should put that graphic up.
Yeah, for you guys. Yes, I'm sure.
iTunes, right, is the easiest place to find it. It's everywhere.
Yeah, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Hulu. It's on everything. So, even the weird apps for podcasts you can't even think of. We have it on there. Podbean, all that stuff. So
nice. So Murder at Devil's Point, that's going to be good. So we were roommates for a while when you were working on that, and you say we helped solve it. You're being you're being kind. You're being
generous.
No, he's being humble. He's being humble about that because I don't think there was a we. It was him.
Yeah. It's a we. It's me, and it's also more than me. It's Chuck Mallett, obviously the head of the Criminal Investigations Division for Pensacola Police Department. So just it's a great story. A few people know about it. It's not too hard to Google, and just we're really excited about it. So
sad
podcasts
story.
are good.
Yeah. And Tony has a real knack for. I said this today when we were playing tennis.
Annoying you?
No, man, not in the least. I think that's the other way around when we're playing tennis.
Well, don't stand close to the net. You won't get hit with the ball.
That's right. I'm known for being the I guess the sniper on the
aggressor.
They're like, Faja's gonna hit it at you. Just be ready. It's coming. It's coming.
It's okay to keep your head on a swivel.
But he was telling this morning about Giannis making a block last night. And I'm like, he is the greatest storyteller. I did not need video to see that block in my head.
You gassed me up. You're like my old uncle or my grandma or my mom. No matter what I do, you act like it's the best thing in the world. So that's also why I love you. That's
what you do with a guest.
Well, that's what you do. Because we're friends. That's why you do that.
We are friends. We are friends. We are friends so much that I just helped him move, if you could call it that. You just wrote an article about the top 30 tennis players.
Yeah, the American tennis players.
American tennis players in history.
Yep.
Which is really
good.
Who's number one? Who's number one?
That's not a hard list. That wasn't too hard of a list for me. It was like it's Sampras, and then it's Agassi, and then it's everybody else.
Pancho Gonzalez was a pretty interesting story.
That's a different deal for me. He was number 2.
Right.
Sampras and Agassi are kind of in their own league, but yeah, Pancho Gonzalez, obviously before the Open era, played, won the U.S. Open twice, and then didn't play in a Grand Slam event for 20 years almost because of the rules. Essentially, that if you wanted to make money, you couldn't play in the Grand Slam events from, the 30s through the 50s. So once he was able to get back in it, but legendary tennis player, Las Vegas tennis hustler, Pancho Gonzalez. Somebody talk about making a movie. That's the guy right there.
That would be awesome.
The greatest serve of all time.
Did they ever clock his serve?
They didn't clock his serve, but I know that at the U.S. Open, the second time he won, that the opponent said that he couldn't even see it. So
yeah, that's right.
Widely considered. There's a great quote from old sports writer from the L.A. Times, Jim Murray, maybe the greatest sports writer of all time, had this great quote about Gonzalez. He said, "If the fate of the world was on the line, and it came down to a tennis match, the only person you'd ever want to play in that tennis match would be Pancho Gonzalez." So
that's pretty.
That's great. It's such a great line. I've always loved that about him. And obviously, I'm a little biased because I love my fellow Latinos to do well. So.
He was a big deal in Vegas, and there were some people that wanted to have him killed at one point.
Yeah, Andre. I'm not speaking out of turn here. Andre Agassi's father did try to have Pancho Gonzalez killed
for dating his daughter,
for marrying his teenage daughter. So, yeah, I know.
But they said no. They're like, no, you can't kill Pancho. He's just
he was the Sinatra of tennis, essentially.
That's amazing.
And I think on Pancho Gonzalez, I have to go. My party is calling me back. I apologize for the brevity of my appearance. I know he wanted me to be on here longer, but I love you. Thank you for promoting the sheriff.
And you're welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
And hey, the Murder at Devil's Point, is that what it's coming out? It's called
Murder at Devil's Point, August 15th, Apple podcast, Spotify, everywhere. And then, we're going.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll let you get going. Go enjoy the party.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
Enjoy your little thing there. I hope you got some Gatorade.
I got something right here.
Go.
All right, man. Take care. All right.
Well, that was nice to have him come in for a bit.
Yeah, it was good. Are we off?
Yeah. He's gone.
He switched it up on us a little bit.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith had what he was talking about with Stephen A. Smith had made a big deal that Shohei Ohtani was bad for baseball because he doesn't speak English. It was making a big deal out of it, and it caused a huge backlash on Twitter.
I hadn't heard about that.
I don't know. Everything's got to be about race
Twitter
and
storm.
division and, you know.
Yeah. Why can't we all just get along?
Exactly. Why can't we? Why
You know,
can't
I
we?
could go into the reasons why I think, the government doesn't want us to get along.
Maybe we'll talk about that, but first let's talk about Tell Staffing at HR.
That sounds
Who
like
you
a
see
perfect
coming across
idea.
our screen all the time. They're a Florida-based human resources company, payroll, HR, benefits, 401k, staffing. I know the owners, Wayne and Gene Brown, obviously, Christians, patriots, and they share our conservative and constitution-based values. It's really nice to see that out there. Let Tell do for you what they're good at, and you do what you're good at with your business. The time savings as a business owner and the lack of worry and letting you do what you're good at is a game changer. You can call them at 866-476-9008 or check them out at tellstaffing.com. You'll love it. Check them out. It'll change your business. Did you see where they're talking about surveilling our text messages now?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen, what was, and they're coming out, people are coming out with phones to hopefully get around that. So.
Yeah, like that Freedom phone.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I text that, you're talking about your guys, what's that broadcast or that podcast?
No Agenda.
No Agenda podcast.
Yeah.
And that they're saying that it's some kind of scam or that it could be or possibly.
Yeah. They just didn't want, what's the girl that, Candace. They didn't want her to get taken by a bunch of, something that might not be as on the up and up as what, everyone's going to hope it is.
It's some Bitcoin millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
That's backing it, running it. And I don't know to what degree the phone's going to be, a game changer, I mean, I know the apps, it's got its own app store. It's not Google based.
Right.
Or Apple. So you don't have to, you're not restricted by Google or Apple, I guess, is one of the biggest things.
Yeah, it's and that's the whole thing is how many people are going to develop apps for something that doesn't have, as wide a funding, So hopefully it'll take off. I mean, competition is always good.
I sent it to Jared. I thought it was a pretty good deal from what I first checked it out. And he said, haha, no thanks. Great marketing ploy, though.
Who's Jared?
My son. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know.
So what is he? Is he a tech guy? Would he know?
No, he's just a know-it-all.
Okay.
Like a lot of us.
Well, it's one of those things where you hope. I mean, I hope it does well. Did you ever download the app I sent you for the new Twitter kind of thing?
I don't know which one is it. There's so many of everything.
The Getter.
No.
Okay.
I'll have to look at that.
That's the one that's supposed to be Trump's new thing, and I set up an account on it, but I haven't really.
The Getter?
I think that's what it is.
What the hell that is?
What is it? GETTR. Yeah.
Right. No, I didn't see that. But what started what we were first talking about here is surveilling our text messages. Really? I mean, seriously? Is this not going to wake some people up?
Well, you would hope.
I mean, seriously, just combing through, just like, combing through our text messages, the way they, their algorithms go through Facebook and Twitter and everything. Censoring us, censoring our text messages. They want to make sure that no disinformation gets out there. I find that just incredibly mind-boggling that they would even consider trying it.
Well, as soon as they start doing that, like what they do with our Facebook, where you get the this can't be sent, or how are they going to do it? Are they going to or you just, if I send you a text message and they don't like it, are they just, it's not going to show up and I'll think you never responded? Or is it going to send you something, editing it?
Yeah, like they do, saying this is false information.
Right, exactly. What your friend just sent you is false information, so it's not going to go through. So
mind-boggling. I just in the stuff they just keep coming up with, and it's like, was it you that was telling me about they were interviewing the attorney general or something today about Cuba? Was it you that was telling me that?
Yeah, where they and she couldn't even say communism.
When asking them if they thought that it was because of communism that the revolt was going on down there. Yeah. That the protests were going on, and she couldn't even bring herself to utter the word or shed any truth on the situation.
Right. It was like
shed any light of truth on the situation.
Right.
Because they just, why? Because they're not getting the vaccine. That's why they're protesting.
That's why they're protesting.
Right?
We've got plenty of it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We've got plenty of it here. We can send them.
That's what it is, because they're not getting the vaccine. That's why they're pissed.
Yeah, we've got plenty of it up here. We'll send them.
I have so many Cuban friends now. I say so many.
Do you?
I mean, I say so many. 5, maybe. Well, something like that. But I talk to them a lot. I spend a lot of time with them. Right? And they lived that life down in Cuba. Actually, more than 5.
Now, how recent were they?
I mean, it's been a little bit.
See, now that's the kind of you should have one of them come on and tell us.
That's a good point here. Well, one of them just texted us and said, or messaged us and said, Cubans can't come to the U.S., but everyone else can cross the southern border.
And now, that was the thing today was that our military is flying them around. I don't
out of what air base? That was with
I don't remember.
I can't remember the air base, but yeah, just transporting people wherever. Yeah. Well, we've had Mike Miller on with Warriors for Ranchers,
right,
talking about the southern border. And his is they get a plane ticket and $1,400.
Well, let's just see.
And then they get a monthly stipend, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's another thing that they've talked about in the past.
I wear this rubber bracelet, the Tilvahala project, and it says 22 a day, which represents the 22 veterans that kill themselves every day. And Frenchie told us when we had him on a couple weeks ago, Frenchie LaFontaine, United States Marine Corps retired, that it's more like 30.
Yeah, it's a shame. Just the.
My fact checker says Laughlin Air Base. That's what it was. I remember that too.
Okay.
When you were playing it.
Whereabouts is that? What state?
Nevada?
Is it in Nevada? So it's really close.
I believe.
That's probably close to the border then. So they don't have to go very far. We should. It's like I said. I mean, they should just. I'm surprised the federal government isn't just sending down C-130s and just picking people up in Central America and bringing them up and just distributing them around the country.
Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah, it's.
You know.
I mean, that would just cut out the middlemen. Then we wouldn't have to worry about these poor ranchers having problems. They just, pick them up, send them straight to, drop them up in the Hamptons. Just take them straight up there.
That would be priceless. There, do you know 3 countries, Tanzania, Haiti, and one other, refused the vaccine?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Those countries have been using those malaria drugs and stuff to thwart off.
Which works.
Yeah,
proven
exactly.
that it works.
It's worked for decades.
They're hiding it right now.
Oh, okay. I found it.
Yeah, we don't. Do you know what else those 3 countries have in common?
What's that?
All 3 of their presidents, prime ministers, whatever they are, have been murdered or dead.
Well,
now, already.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
It's that's the thing. It's so funny because it's not funny, but the liberals have been bitching and whining about our federal government doing this and that, and it's groups like the FBI and the CIA that are doing this stuff to us, where our liberals bitch about them doing it. Oh, look what our government's been doing to these other countries. And we've kind of like taken a back seat and been like, okay, you all are crazy and everything. And they were right, but they're okay with it when they're doing it to us.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay if you all do it to us, but we're going to get on our federal government for doing it to these other countries.
Well, the government just sucks.
So it looks like Laughlin Air Force Base is right below
Las Vegas?
Del Rio. No, like it's right
Texas?
on well, you can see it up there on the screen up here. See the little
No.
You can't? Okay, well, let me make
No,
it bigger.
you don't have it up there.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, is it Texas?
It's it's like
I don't know why that would seem. I was wondering how they get to Nevada or whatever, because there's a Laughlin, Nevada. That's why I thought that. So it's down in the Del Rio, which is down in that Mike Miller area, right?
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, you can see it.
So they don't need a ticket, I guess, when the military flies them around. Just load them up and.
Yeah, where do you want us to drop them, Mr. Biden?
Are they lush airliners?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it all first class?
I mean, hopefully it's not any nicer than what they fly our military around on, but
Well, that they are. Did we talk we talked about the All-Star game, right? By the way, I'm all over the place with our change in our guest status.
Well, if you're going to talk about sports, you're probably going to go solo here. I'll make some.
No, but I'm not. That's not what I want to say about the All-Star game.
What?
On Sunday or Monday.
Do you want
a maid?
Gabriel could call in. I could send him I could post the Zoom, and we could actually have him zoom in if he wanted to.
I don't know if Gabriel's smart enough to use Zoom.
Now, don't be that way. Hold on.
I'm not being mean.
Okay. Well, we'll just
kidding, Gabby.
let me do this. I'm gonna do a couple of things here.
Well, we'll see
if he wants.
Gabby, do you have Zoom on your phone? So anyway, what I wanted to say about the All-Star game is they, in a hotel room,
Yeah.
a maid discovered like 20 long guns
Oh yeah, I heard about
and
this.
1,000 rounds of ammunition in one of the hotels next to Coors Field.
Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't heard, any of the details or anything like that. I think it's probably the FBI getting a room at the hotel next to the field to.
Well, the maid wouldn't have discovered them, and it wouldn't have been a big deal then.
Well,
but they're not even. I don't even know why it's not being talked about on the news.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm part of me thinks that the FBI actually does stuff to.
You're saying the FBI got caught, but they don't want to get caught.
Right.
FBI caught.
Right. I'm just saying there are things that the FBI does to instigate violence to then be like, oh, well, we need to get guns off the streets. Look at what happened here, that kind of stuff that I think that our federal government actually does, where they will instigate something like that.
Well, we already know they had during Obama, the gun running thing to the cartels.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
they'll say, oh well, Bush was already doing that.
Different deal. Lying.
But Bush kind of had a lot to do with starting that, but he had tracking devices on the guns where it ended up being just a free for all.
It was a different. You know what though? As it turns out, Bush and Obama, just different sides of the same coin.
Well, yeah, they both wanted a one world government, so yeah. Fast and Furious.
Call in, fact checker. Did I say that?
Yeah, he's keeping us straight. We know everything. We just don't know the details on anything. that's.
Yes, yes, Gabby, I remember. Guns, Obama.
Yeah.
You left the L and the H out of that name.
Fast and Furious. I saw that last weekend at the theater. That's the one with.
You went to a theater?
Yeah.
To see a movie?
Actually, I went and saw the Fast and Furious. What is it? It wasn't. Is it actually called? Is the movie? It was F9 or something, and I missed like 1 or 2 through 8, I guess. But yeah, I went and saw that, and then I went and saw the Bodyguard, Hitman's Wife movie with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson and Salma Hayek.
That movie's 3 years old.
The new one. There's a new one, though. It's actually got wife in the title, too, now.
I'll have to check that out.
It was good. It was funny. It was.
Get an app. Do yourself a favor. I wouldn't give Hollywood another fucking dime.
He's eating dinner.
I saw that.
Right in the middle of his dinner time.
It's a little late.
Let all the kids. Let the kids on the show, too. We'll stop the cussing long enough for them to.
They've heard it. We hang out at the beach together. They've heard it. They kind of ignore us. They act like they don't hear it.
Okay. Don't want to get stabbed.
I want to know what Aurora made for dinner.
Yeah.
It's always good. It's always delicious.
If it's some good Cuban food, I'm sure it is.
But you know what? On the hotel room and the long guns and the ammo next to the All-Star game, that was a potential
disaster,
mind-boggling disaster.
Well, it would have been on the level of the thing in Vegas,
right? Not to lessen anything for whoever's concert that was, in Vegas, but I mean, you're going to start doing that shit in our sporting events.
Well, and see, that's the whole thing is that was just kind of hushed up. Have you heard anything else about the?
No, that all went away too.
Yeah.
And why?
I mean, there are stories out there that was one of those kind of, government. I don't even know who the guy was. Do you even remember who he was? What didn't he have some weird his girlfriend flew to the Philippines, or it was all kinds of crazy stuff with that I haven't heard anything about anymore.
It's Cuban chicken and black beans and rice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
She got me my seasoning too, complete seasoning.
Did she make the seasoning herself, or
No,
is it something?
it's
Do
called.
we want to start a cooking show? Is that
We could.
have them come?
We
could
could
do a remote from their kitchen.
Kat could do that too, from Rev Essentials. We could have some pretty fabulous stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
But where were we? Oh,
guns.
So
People.
Las Vegas. They're not even talking about this. What they find in Denver, right?
Okay.
That's all shut up,
Right.
hushed up. Vegas just disappeared.
Yeah.
It existed long enough for them to run their anti-gun campaign bullshit
Right.
on the air for a week or two, and then, what about this is Nashville. What was that, Christmas Day or New Year's Day or what? The bombing in Nashville.
Are we talking? Oh, the electrical thing, or the electrical grid, right? Or it hit
The van blew up.
right, and it took out like the cells or the phone service. I mean, my family in Louisville had lost their phone service for a while because of that.
I don't know about
As
that.
far as Louisville,
From the Nashville bombing.
yeah, from the Nashville bombing.
Well, they solved that in like 3 hours or 2 days, and then just disappeared. We figured out what it was, and it's gone.
Right.
But they couldn't figure out Russian collusion. And
see, we need.
I thought about that after I said those
We need
other
him.
dates.
We need him here on the show with us every day. He can just.
He said Christmas.
Christmas.
You were right.
You were right. Christmas.
Eh.
See, he can check the internet. We're sitting here. Working.
I don't know
We
that
can't
he
look it
might be
all up.
checking the internet. One of his sons, well, they're both, but the oldest son is quite the everything
Okay.
on the intelligence issue.
How old is he?
7.
Oh, 7. Really? Is he like a savant or something?
I think he is. Yeah. You ask him anything about the solar system,
He's just
or black holes, or anything, nuclear fission.
He's got a photographic memory.
He is smart AF.
Okay.
But all this stuff goes away.
All this stuff goes away.
All the disasters, it just disappears.
I'm sure some people would say, if you only knew all the stuff that we solve and that you don't know about, one of those kind of things.
Right. Like I talked about the 3 countries.
3 countries.
The 3 countries that didn't take the vaccine,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
that didn't accept the vaccine,
Right.
and all 3 of their presidents being dead.
Right.
The only one I heard about was Haiti.
Right. And I told you what I told you about the Haiti thing, right?
I don't know.
I said so apparently what I heard was that China was trying to give the former president, how China gets these countries on here's some money and we're going to start building infrastructure for you and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the former president wouldn't take the Chinese money, so China came in, and apparently there was a story that it wasn't Haitians that came in and killed him; it was somebody from outside.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And so apparently somebody is saying that it was China that did it, and now the new president is going to take the Chinese money, and think about that, having a lot of Chinese influence that close to us in the Caribbean.
Isn't China kind of Gabby, is China involved with Cuba now? It's not the Russians anymore.
What's that?
Just
Gabby saying that it's Americans
in Haiti.
In Haiti.
Well, yeah. Well,
who knows?
We know that Clinton took a shitload of money from that. From Haiti.
Yeah, they you know.
Mind-boggling.
Whenever the earthquake happened, that brought the Clintons in.
Right.
Yeah.
Or hurricane or earthquake. It was earthquake.
Yeah, it was an
earthquake. Yeah,
earthquake.
because all their horrible no building code action down there.
Yeah. You know, don't get me started on building codes. I think the government our government gets too involved in what you want to do here whenever you want to build something on your own property. So.
Gabby or Aurora says there was American mercenaries that killed the Haitian prez.
You know, I haven't.
Which I wouldn't doubt that one bit.
Yeah. I haven't.
I don't watch the news.
I haven't thought anything else about it since last Thursday. Whenever I mentioned it to you.
Whenever I watched and I guess I should. I don't know. Watch the news.
China runs Cuba's internet. That's what he's saying.
You know, it's just mind-boggling. It's maddening. The amount of misinformation.
It's Russia. They're all about. It's.
They wouldn't
It's as much our government as it is Russia, though.
Yeah. I have some thoughts about Russia. Maybe we'll get to that on another show.
As far as whether they're on the right side of history or
yes.
are.
Yes.
Yes. I think I'm not a communist by any means, but I think there's a lot of things that Russia's on the right side of history and our federal government.
Ooh, he lays it out there. Wow, they're just going to go absolutely ape shit on the left for that kind of talk.
About what?
Saying anything positive about Russia and our connection to them.
Well, you know, it's so funny because I've got lefty friends being in broadcast TV, over the years, and they were the biggest, anti or positive Russia everything, and then now as soon as Trump, tries to have a relationship with the Russian president, they're like anti-Russia all of a sudden.
I know one thing about Russia. They don't have. They're not part of the central bank.
Oh, is that right?
Which is it's interesting if you were to think that out.
Yeah, I could see why. I mean, it. Well, yeah, it's bigger than what we can solve here tonight. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we're going to wrap it up for another week. Play Harder Radio, PatriotTV.live. Sorry for a little bit of the confusion tonight with our guest. I guess he went off celebrating the awards they won today. I'm surprised he wasn't. Maybe I guess there probably wasn't a banquet or anything. Maybe they're going to have something later. But I'll tell you, check out the sheriff on the podcast, and I'm going to be looking forward to Murder at Devil's Point. I lived with him through a lot of that, so I got to hear a lot of the research stuff that was going on when they were trying to get into the DNA and all the people that had known her and been with her and this and that throughout the whole investigation. It was pretty, and all the interviews that he did with people that knew her, brother, mom, friends, and such. It was pretty interesting. So that one, I'm looking forward to that one coming out. That sheriff would make a great TV show.
Oh yeah.
I would like to think he would get his due too.
Gabby says this was better than the hockey talk.
You can't even say hockey.
Hockey.
Like wretched.
Hockey. Hockey. The hockey talk.
Like wretched
Hockey.
is not a word. Wretched.
Wretched?
Not
wretched?
not wretched. REACHED. Wretched.
Wretched? That's wretched.
All right. Next week, Colonel Chris Holsworth.
That'll be awesome.
Colonel Christopher Caveman Holsworth. He was close with General Pittman. We'll talk about General Pittman as well next week, who passed away recently, not too far back this year. Was a great man, and I'm sure we'll talk about the sniper. He commandeered a helicopter early in his career. General Pittman did, and from a base like down in Louisiana, and went and helped them take out a sniper that was on a Howard Johnson's, I believe it was, in like 1980, right around in there.
Wow.
And without authorization, and helped the police take out that sniper. So we'll get into that, I'm sure, next week. The greatest thing that they talk about General Pittman, that Colonel Holsworth talks about General Pittman, is that his big line was, I'm going to wherever it is for this mission or whatever. Who's going with me? It wasn't, you guys go do this. It was, who's going with me?
Yeah.
So, one great man talking about another great man next week. We're going to talk about the Marine Corps League of Pensacola's 5K run for the children that he started after the Beirut incident to help the families out. This is the 37th year of it. Tell Staffing and HR is the title sponsor for that, so we'll get into that with him next week. But we will see you next week, right back here on PatriotTV.live, Play Harder Radio. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take pride in presenting a thoughtful address by Ronald Reagan. Mr. Reagan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you and good evening. The sponsor has been identified, but unlike most television programs, the performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course. I believe that the issues confronting us cross party lines. Now, one side in this campaign has been telling us that the issues of this election are the maintenance of peace and prosperity. The line has been used, we've never had it so good. But I have an uncomfortable feeling that this prosperity isn't something on which we can base our hopes for the future. No nation in history has ever survived a tax burden that reached a third of its national income. Today, 37 cents out of every dollar earned in this country is the tax collector's share. And yet our government continues to spend $17 million a day more than the government takes in. We haven't balanced our budget 28 out of the last 34 years. We've raised our debt limit 3 times in the last 12 months. And now our national debt is 1.5 times bigger than all the combined debts of all the nations of the world. We have $15 billion in gold in our treasury. We don't own an ounce. Foreign dollar claims are $27.3 billion. And we've just had announced that the dollar of 1939 will now purchase 45 cents in its total value. As for the peace that we would preserve. I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. Do they mean peace, or do they mean we just want to be left in peace? There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. Not too long ago, two friends of mine were talking to a Cuban refugee, a businessman who had escaped from Castro. And in the midst of his story, one of my friends turned to the other and said, "We don't know how lucky we are." And the Cuban stopped and said, "How lucky you are. I had some place to escape to." And in that sentence, he told us the entire story. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government, or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down. Man's old age dream, the ultimate in individual freedom consistent with law and order, or down to the ant heap of totalitarianism. And regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course.